Shalom, 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 shalom. First and foremost, giving infinite praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshua, Ba'ashem HaKodash. Giving double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Shalom, salutation to you, Sensei Akims, across the four winds, pushing this truth with sincerity of heart. I'm your fellow servant, Kasama God from the DC camp, coming at you through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshua, Ba'ashem HaKodash, to feed the elect. And this video is, going into prophecy. It's just another edition of the Watchtower. Of course, man, listen, there's huge developments going on internationally, but also nationally when it comes to the scriptures. Prophecies are coming to pass. A lot of stuff that we've seen happen across the four winds is coming right here into the shores of America, also known as the virgin daughter of Babylon in the scriptures. And what I'm getting ready to show you is something that the scripture prophesied will happen. And some of the signs that society itself, the Babylonian society, is coming to an end. Okay, it's imploding from within, just like the scripture said. All right, that's the reason why the nation of Israel, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the awakening that's going on, us having to be patient. Beginning with our elders and apostles being patient, waiting for us to wake up, and us being patient, waiting for, brothers behind us to wake up. And that patience is why, because the Lord has been making moves, patiently nipping and scraping and destroying Babylon, all right, for the sake of his elect. Now, this is out on YouTube, Daily Mail. All right, I'm just going to play this, because it goes into the disruption, the total disregard that the inhabitants of modern day Babylon, modern day Egypt, modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, which is the U.S. You see this disruption going on in this society, and it's crumbling and it's falling apart right in front of your eyes. This is the most powerful nation in the history of humanity. And just look at what's happening to it.
Hey, everybody! Got a little present for the mayor! That's what's gonna happen. Monday, there was 15,000 real New Yorkers that were out there that are sick of this. These are the real New Yorkers. Without them, this city is nothing, okay? Let this shit happen. This is insanity. This is insanity. And I plead with the mayor, go back to the testing. Everything was fine and safe with the testing. This vaccine mandate is gonna kill this city, because there's a lot of men and women that work for this city that are not getting vaxxed, whether it's religious or health or immunity. It's ridiculous. And this mayor is so screwed up. He hates this city, and we all know how much he hates this city, but he's not going to realize he's going to go down in history as the worst mayor in the history of the world when this city...
Tell him to pick up his own fucking trash. Danny.
Just kill Brandon. You know what that means, right?
Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. I've been fighting for a year. You're late to the party, all right? You're late to the party. Where were you to
Yeah, that's basically it, though. I couldn't help but laugh. The dude, New Yorkers, man. One thing, the way they react to things is always quite interesting. But that's what's going on now, man. I mean, you got a lot of people that are basically out of work because of, being coerced, if I'm saying it right, being coerced into having to take that sauce, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people know what's going on. A lot of people are aware. You have a lot of Israelites that are aware to that extent, right? Because they're not fully aware of the nationality in the future and why and what's happening, right? But you have a lot of people that are aware, and it's kind of a part of the elite's plans. I mean, the super elites and international bankers, they knew this was gonna happen, and it's kind of part of their plan because they have to have chaos, and that's exactly what we're going. We're going into total collapse of the society. And it's amazing because even in my own neighborhood, I've been noticing for the past couple of weeks, like there's a large amount of trash pile up. I don't know if the company that my neighborhood is hiring works with. I don't know if they started pushing mandates and all of a sudden cats don't want to come to work. But like I've noticed for the past 2 weeks, man, it's like I've never seen trash pile up like this ever since, I moved into that neighborhood. So these things is real, man. It's happening. And you have to be prepared. These are the signs. All right. These are the signs that the society is ready to implode. All right. And this goes back to let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 9. It says chapter 9, I'm gonna start at 1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, meaning measuring, just like with a measuring stick. You see what's going on in the world, you go back into the scripture and you trying to match and see where we are. That's what it means to measure in the times diligently. It says, when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And that's the time that we're living in. All right. And you can't have a standing kingdom and all of these wicked kingdoms of the nations established. And then in the same token, have the kingdom of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shah, which is a kingdom of righteousness, righteousness, judgment, justice, and equity, both in the same time and space, in the same planet. It can't happen. One must fall for the other one to rise. And what you're witnessing right now is the fall of all the wicked kingdoms, the fall of Edom, Esau, the devil that the Bible speaks of, and all his institution. That's why he's desperately trying to go big or go home, right? By establishing his image right along with the mark, all right? Which the image is the system in which we've lived in, we were born and raised in, and then the Most High delivered us out of this image. But yet he has to have the final stamp, which is the mark spoken of in Revelation 13 and 15, the mark of the beast, which we know it to be what? The chip, the RFID microchip. Okay. So going back to verse 2, it says, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning, right? Because it's called prophecy. And the men of the Lord, the prophets, have been out there. We've been out there for years, year in and year out, letting you know, even when the season was fair, we talking about in the times where it wasn't a whole lot going on. The men of the Lord was there. You just didn't see them. You didn't notice them. They were there. The voice of the Lord has always been crying out in the wilderness. All right, this wilderness being the United States. And then it really across the four winds too, because the prophets are scattered. But mostly here in the land of Babylon, which is the main land of Israel's captivity and prophecies and deliverance. So, now these things are actually coming to pass. Okay, now let's jump straight to 2nd Ezra chapter 12, verse 16. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And that's what you just witnessed on a lower level. I mean, I'm talking about an extremely lower level, because they kind of invaded the property. Now, it wasn't, the invasion wasn't, them actually physically invading the property, but the things that they did, they could be charged for that. I'm sure that will fall into misdemeanors, but they could be charged for doing what they did, for throwing dirt and trash and garbage in the mayor. On top of that, the mayor's property. You know what I'm saying? You could be charged for that, but they don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gotten to this point now where they understand, they're getting a sense of what's happening. And that's going to bring about chaos. So a lot of these individuals in positions of power, mayor, governors, and so on and so forth, that's pushing the agenda of the Rothschilds and the New World Order agenda, they're not going to be protected. I don't know, because, of course, the elites probably told them they're going to be protected, but most of them are not going to be protected. Most of them, you know, will be handled when these things hit the fan. It's going to get crazy out here. That's why the military martial law is going to have to be established, because a lot of these public forces, persons, I would say, in positions of power, you know, they listen, they're going to be dealt with, man. I mean, how? We're all going to find out. But us prophets, we here to warn you that things are going to get nasty. Things are going to get very, very carnal in the upcoming weeks and months. It says, Edom Molan, mayor. A mayor is principal officer of a municipality, chief magistrate of a city or borough. All right. It says head of a city or town government, greater superior. OK, great, considerable, large, of person, powerful of person. So this is what the scripture said. I'm going to read it again. 2 Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another's properties. And it's going to go, and listen, it's going to actually go to the point where people are going to invade each other's personal space and actual bodies, because there's going to be all kinds of rape and people going to get caught and little miniature slavery. I mean, it's just going to be some wild stuff. Some Mad Max, World Warrior type stuff in a lot of these cities. It says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right. So now let's go to Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1. It says, the burden of Egypt, modern day Egypt, which is the U.S. All right, that's prophecy. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians, aka American citizens, against the Egyptians, aka American citizens, in a civil war, civil unrest. Right? That's what you're witnessing. This is spirit that the Lord has poured in this society. It says, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. As you see right now, there's already a political fight going on with the mandates. You got the red states. The elections just came in. The midterm elections just came in. A lot of the red states, a lot of the states that turned blue when Biden took over, those states have turned red. A lot of these red states are anti-mandates and anti-mask. A lot of blue states are pro-mandates, pro-mask. So you can already see the division going on. OK, you can see the division going on. It's so serious. People are not playing, because politics just got serious, because now you're talking about lives being affected. OK. So people not, people are getting serious. The problem is, well, it's not a problem for us. It's a great thing for us. The good news for us, the average United States citizen has no idea how politics works. They have no idea what's going on, who's doing what, who's ruling, who's making moves. So there's no way for them to save their country. So that's a beautiful thing. But they're going to struggle, and struggle they will. And that's how this society is finally going to come down to its knees. Ezekiel chapter 24, verse 6. Wherefore, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shah, woe to the bloody city, to the pot whose scum is therein, and whose scum is not going out of it. Bring it out piece by piece. Let no lot fall upon it. All right. And that bloody city right now is referring to what? The U.S. That's the bloody city right now. OK, just like when the Most High said Amos, his eyes are upon the sinful kingdom. Back then he was referring to Israel. But right now he's referring to whom? The United States, the virgin daughter of Babylon, modern day Egypt, modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. OK. And it says, well, he's taking it piece by piece. And that's what the Lord has been doing. He's meticulously taking inches after inches out of this place, man. spiritually, mentally, and then eventually, man, on the physical sense. Now you got trash all over the place. The city stinks. All these cities stinks. You know what I'm saying? It's rotten, man. It's rotten. And that's beautiful, because that's what this city is, man. At its very core, this place is rotten, man. But that's all I had, man. This was beautiful. I just had to share that with the arguments, man, that's going on in all those cities. You know, hey, Carl Halayim like Yahweh Shemina Shah double honest while apostles and elders a great millstone. Shalom salutation to you. Say Akims, keep watching. Stay glued, man. Stay glued to the news, stay glued to prophecy, man, because at the end of the day, man, that's our way out of here, man. Lord willing, we're part of the elect. You know what I'm saying? And being part of the elect, hopeful elect, man, is getting a scoop and knowing what's gonna happen before it happens. All right, so hey, Kasamagan from the DC camp saying shalom.